Hey guys, I know it has been a minute, but today I wanted to talk about Pangea's Gutload Roach and Cricket Food, otherwise known as PIG, which stands for Pangea Insect Grub. I reached out at the beginning of the year to Pangea about a collaboration and they said yes and sent me a bag of their insect feed for review. I have been testing it out over the past few months and these are my thoughts on the product. Let's start off with every form this feed can be, which I thought was pretty cool. It can be a gel, a paste, or fed unprepared and dry. I was skeptical about the gel at first, but shocked me how well it came out. To make it, you bring water to a boil, add 3 parts water, 1 part powder, and mix it together until the consistency is even. Though there may be a few lumps no matter what you do, it is to be expected, but the general idea is to have it as smooth as possible. Most of it should be mixed evenly. The amount I made used half a cup of the mix to produce a fair amount of this gel, more than enough to feed one colony of any of my insects. You can very easily slice it with nearly anything. I typically use a modeling clay knife. You can cut it into any shape you want and it will hold its integrity. This is by far my favorite form of the product. You can also mix it into a paste. Just add water until it is a little bit thinner than ketchup. I prefer this consistency as your youngling critters won't potentially get stuck in it from being too thick. I haven't had that happen, but it's always a fear. Prevention and safety measures are the key to success. Lastly, you can add it just dry. From what I've seen, my critters enjoy all forms of the product and will readily consume it. Now to the taste test. Let's start off with the Discoid Roaches. By and large, their favorite form of the product was the gel. I removed some of the adults from my breeding colony in order to get better shots, which I think I outdid myself this time. Anyhow, after adding it to the bin, they immediately went to it and started consuming it. We can even see how their mouths work, which is super cool. They loved it so much, this roach here picked up a piece and drug it off. She was like, "This is mine, back off." I'm not sure if she got spooked, but I've never seen a roach carry off food like that, and I thought it was pretty cool. Next, I tried the powder. Again, it took nearly no time for the roaches to get to it, some even digging around in it. I would say this is probably the best form to feed small nymphs. Adults will eat it too, but I personally think this product best suits nymphs in this form, due to their small mouths. Lastly, I tried the paste form of the product, which the roaches didn't hesitate for a moment to consume. You can see this one slurping away. It is super interesting to see how they eat both wet and solid items. This girl is even dripping from her mouth with it. Again, I do not suggest this form of the product if you are going to be feeding small nymphs. I'm not 100% sure they can get stuck in it, I just err on the side of caution. This stuff does get a little bit sticky. Now to the superworm beetles. The story is much the same here. The gel form of the product is a very clear winner. They absolutely swarm it. It seems quite easy for them to eat, and as you can see, they have been taking chunks out of it. Next, I tried the powder form. The beetles were a little less interested in it, but I think that is a side effect from them living in grain, as they are used to having dry food available to them 100% of the time, and it may seem less appealing to them due to the lack of moisture in this form. They did really seem to enjoy the paste form of this product, some of them getting it all over themselves. A neat incident that happened with this feeding is that one of the beetles climbed onto another and was eating the paste, which I thought was just great. Cool shots just sometimes make themselves for you. Last up for the superworms are the superworms. I only tried one variation of the product here on the larvae themselves, as feeding dry would take up so much of the mix, and paste may cause issues for the larvae, as they will most certainly crawl all in and through it. So I only tried the gel form out on the superworms. It only took a few minutes for them to take to it and realize it was food, but once they did, that was all she wrote. So the last set of animals I tried this on was my Panda King enclosure. The gel form of the product does work well with them, however, with its volume and how small the isopods are, it will take them some time to eat even one cube. But as you can see, all sizes of them seem to gather around the chunks. After a bit, there were babies everywhere. And now the last form for the isopods is dry, which is a no-brainer and probably the best way to use this product if you were going to use it with isopods. It took almost no time for everyone to move in on it, babies, adults, everybody included. I skipped paste as I didn't want any of my isopods to get stuck in it and die. The dry form will absorb moisture from the enclosure since isopods live in a high humidity condition, so it will sort of turn into a paste, but it will not be a real sticky paste. Anyhow, I've been using this product for a few months now. I mostly use it for gut loading purposes. However, it can be used as a high nutritional food for colonies like isopods, roach breeding bins, and beetle breeding bins, and potentially lead to better breeding results due to high nutrition. So, my final thoughts on Pangea's PIG. Excellent. I still cannot express how cool I think the gel form is, and the gel was a very clear winner when it comes to what the insects prefer. The only negative thing I can think of is the cost of the product itself. 1 pound for $20 US, which if I am to be honest, isn't that bad as many other formulas like this are similarly priced. If you used it for its intended purpose, as a gut loading material, the bag will last a long while, but when you're feeding 10 species of isopods, my beetles, roaches, their nymphs, the worms, the bag will go fast. But used as directed, the bag will go the distance. I will most likely be picking up another bag once mine has run out. I want to thank Pangea for giving me the opportunity to test out their product. Their website is pangeareptile.com. I fully recommend their gut loading mix if you are looking to kick it up a notch on nutrition for your pets. From ease of use to how readily my critters took to it, this product is a clear winner in my book. But that about does it, guys. If you like this video and you have it in your critter-loving heart, give this video a like, a subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos in the future like this. I promise I'm not done making videos. And as always, from the gizzards and I, have a wonderful day.